Puja Swamiji said many a time that the maximum use of free will is when one prays. Is it because when we pray, we surrender our free will at the altar of worship? So is surrendering the free will the maximum use of the free will? I'll qualify this statement that the maximum use of free will is when we pray. A prayer also can be done with the purpose of fulfilling some personal agenda. There are prayers which people do to hurt somebody. Meaning that prayers also can be tamas prayers, where there is an intention perhaps of hurting somebody. Rajas prayers, imagine self-centeredness or for one's personal, agenda. And third is sattvic prayer, where one does not seek any reward in return for the prayer. So when Puja Swamiji says there is maximum use of free will, I would say that applies to the sattvic prayer when we do not seek any personal reward while praying. If we do, then we are not surrendering the free will because I want some reward. So Puja Swamiji's statement, we should add a qualification there that whenever we are praying, performing a sattvic prayer, a prayer without the expectation of any reward, prayer for the sake of prayer, then that is when the free will is surrendered at the altar of the Lord. Second question, in case my explanation requires, if there is a question, then please raise your hand. Otherwise, I'll proceed to the next one. Second is true surrendering one's ego.
I think the person you asked has a follow-up question, sorry.
Okay.
So Swamiji, then surrendering your free will in sattvic prayer is the maximum use of the free will? Is that what is to be understood?
Because it requires free will to surrender free will, understand?
Okay.
You have to make a decision to surrender a free will, and free will makes that decision to surrender itself. So therefore it is said that is the maximum use of free will, where the free will itself decides to surrender itself, accepting Ishvara in totality. Where free will is there is a certain amount of assertion on my part. Surrendering free will means there is no personal ascension, no assertion. I accept what Ishvara gives without any resistance, or let us say gracefully. So in sattvic prayer there is also the desire, or rather I should say the willingness to accept gracefully whatever Ishvara gives. So that is surrendering the free will, where ego of the free will doesn't make any demands. Is that clear?
Yes, thank you, Swamiji.
Yeah. The second question is the same, is true surrendering one's ego. Yeah, that's because what we are is our ego, the sense of individuality. It is a sense of individuality which creates the division between ourselves and the rest of the world. Sense of individuality means that I confine myself to my body-mind complex. And that's what creates a division. Therefore, surrendering ego surrendering sense of individuality is the true surrender.